Oh, hello and welcome to CHARITYHEART. My name is Ashley Johnson and I am the president of the Critical Role Foundation. Since we launched in 2020, we have come together as a community for causes that span all over the world, and we are coming together once again for people, family, friends who live right next door. On January 7th, fires spread across Southern California, devastating thousands of people and animals. And if the past 10 years at Critical Role has taught us anything, it's that community is the building block upon which anything is possible. So now that we are out of immediate danger, it is time to rebuild. So we gather here on Darrington Press with Roleplay Relay and this incredible cast to raise money for California Community Foundation Wildfire Recovery Fund, Latino Community Foundation, and the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. The fires are out now, but the work is just beginning and there is so much to do. Thank you for joining us, and please enjoy the show.
And we're live. What's up, Internet? My name is Nerdy, and I am your Darrington Dungeon Master for this CHARITYHEART adventure, a 6-episode miniseries taking place in a world yet unmade. We are going to build this world together tonight with some guests that I'm going to bring in for a moment. But first, I want to explain how this is going to work. We have joined forces here at the Roleplay Relay with the fine folks over at Darrington Press to raise money for the Critical Role Foundation's ongoing efforts to improve and assist with the wildfire recovery in Los Angeles. On January 7th, fires quickly spread across the Southern California area and caused a significant amount of harm to the area, to the people, to the mental health of a lot of my friends and people that I absolutely adore and love. And I knew right then and there I wanted to do something to help. And thankfully, the team at Critical Role and Darrington Press reached out and asked for us to bring back the format that we did in November and December of last year with Heroes Without Borders. The way that this works is that tonight we're going to build a world together. You are going to go over to that beautiful Tiltify down in the doobly-doo. You're going to donate your hard-earned dollars to help the people of Los Angeles, who are, also hard workers. I've been to Los Angeles many times, and it is not an easy place to live, okay? The roads are terrible. When it rains, nobody knows how to drive. It's crazy. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced before in my life. And you're gonna build the world. And then for 4 sessions, we are going to have 4 adventurers from across the TTRPG social sphere of content creators and hilarious comedians. They're going to come in 4 at a time, and each is going to tell their own little story, like 4 little one-shots, before a member of each of those teams comes at me on the finale on March 19th to fight the big bad that we're all going to create together tonight. This is going to be an absolute blast, and I'm so excited to shift this over to introducing my incredible panel of world builders this evening. Starting in that bottom right corner, I just want to quickly shout out my wife, Claris Polaris, my better half, and the other half of Roleplay Relay. There's nothing I do that is not made possible by her. But if you know me, you know her. So let's get into the truly special guests this evening. From the team over at Critical Role, the lore keeper of Exandria, a person who has to deal with more lore than I think any other, like outside of maybe the lore keepers of Marvel Comics. There's no one quite doing what Danny Carr is doing. Danny Carr, everybody. Danny, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. I think Blizzard probably gives me a run for my money. Those guys have a lot of lore on their plates.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be part of help raising money for charity and for such a fantastic cause, and to build a world together. It's so exciting.
You can check out, if you like the way Danny creates tonight, you can check out more of her work over at thewitchwolf.org as you are building a little comic universe of your own, right?
Yes, my webcomic that I have created with my wife, Bree Williams. It is a supernatural romance webcomic, and you can check out a lot of my my world building over there. So it's very much still in the early stages. We're only a couple chapters in, but this is the best time to get in, is right when we're getting started. So.
And last member of our team, but certainly not the least, is the incredible dungeon master over on Desi Quest, a show that I am deeply, deeply in love with, as well as a starring member of Critical Role's Re-Slayer's Take podcast, an Exandrian adventure, as well as a dungeon master over on Dimension 20, as well as one of the best streamers over on the Twitch. We got Jasmine Bilar here, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. That was a glowing endorsement.
Well, I'm a big fan. I've been trying to get you on. Like we reached out about Heroes Without Borders, but we didn't know you at the time. And so when Critical Role, when we were doing the initial like talks for this, and they were like, "Well, who do you think would be great for this?" I was like, I sent them an Excel spreadsheet of like creators I thought would be good, and the first like 6 was just the cast of Desi Quest, and then it was everybody else. So we did get Jasmine. We also got Omar. Omar is doing session 1 on Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Omar is one of my favorite people in the world, so I'm so excited for that.
Well, and my favorite thing on Desi Quest is the relationship between Chupa and Omar's character, and the way the two of you play that out together is just I love that little robot so much.
Yes, we have a lot of role play synergy.
Mm-hmm.
We're big fans of each other.
How could you not be? And you both have great hair. I think that would be an interesting competition.
Thank you. I think Omar would win. He
might.
There's a lot of great hair on the Desi Quest cast. We live up to the stereotypes about Indians and nice hair. Like we definitely do.
I mean, not to be like yay stereotypes. What a great stereotype.
That one. We're all good at math. That's a lie. Good at math, great hair.
Which means you should be good at D&D. Those are the only 2 things you really need.
Yeah, I have to counteract some of the negative stereotypes that have been floating around with some positive ones.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, at least that one's nice. Like, God.
So for those wondering, we have been getting some donations in these last couple of minutes. Thank you so much to the people who are donating. We are already over $14,233 raised. That is freaking nuts.
That's fantastic.
I want to thank you all so much. We have
also a shout out to Roll and Play Press because their match was just completed over on the Tiltify.
That is right. All of our matching donations are now done. So your dollars are now $1 per dollar. But if you are a company and you want to there's 5 more sessions. I'm just saying, if you want to come drop a matching donation, there might be room for me to talk about you. Like I am about to talk about a company. Clarus, I feel like I kind of didn't give you a chance to introduce yourself. So I was kind of like, you know what, if you know me, you know her. While I find the call to action, because I don't have it pulled up at the moment, tell the people about yourself. Give your spiel, because I don't want you to feel left out.
Sure, okay. Hi, I'm Clarus or Clarus or Claris. At this point, anything truly goes. I am one half of Roleplay Relay and Nerdy Nightly, and I do internet things. I actually also started on Twitch back in 2019. Woo! And now I'm like in the cosplay TTRPG space. So if you if you want to see a Keyleth cosplay that I worked very hard on, you can go find that. And that's going to be my plug.
It's a beautiful cosplay.
Thank you. It's my first time like working with like real leather because I wanted it to look like it was, I wanted it to look like it was like actually like functional. So yeah, it's a good time.
I think that I think you're the first LVM like fire Keyleth I've seen. The where she had her updated look after she passed through fire.
Yes.
I know that I think you're the first one that I had seen who had done that specific look, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, okay, I know where I'm putting the rest of my free time.
and you're not free time. You finished that cosplay you were sewing leather cord into that cosplay in the car on the way to con. It was that that was true crunch. You lost a nail.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Can't crunch like that again.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not crying and having a mental breakdown on the way to the con, you haven't truly cosplayed.
Exactly.
That's like I feel like that has to happen at some point. that you have to hot glue something on and pray that it works for the next 2 hours, you know, and you're just sobbing.
The one time I cosplayed, I did a Renoa cosplay from Final Fantasy VIII, and the skirt, I had to basically Frankenstein patches of denim together, and it lasted until I was literally about to get into the lift to go back home. The skirt crumbled apart like in my hands as I was waiting for the lift to pick me up, and I was like, okay, at least it lasted until I was going home. And I had shorts on underneath, so everything was okay.
Cosplay is misery. I think the last time I cosplayed, I dressed up as Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel for Emerald City Comic Con, made the whole costume and realized it took me about 40 minutes to get it off. So anytime I needed to pee, it was like it was a thing. But you never think of that when you're making it. And then when the first time you have to like go to the bathroom or do something, you're like, or it doesn't have pockets, and you're like, why have I done this to myself? How am I going to carry my phone? How am I going to carry money?
Yeah, when I'm wearing latex, I know that I won't be using the bathroom for the next like 6 to 8 hours.
It's like drag. You just accept, like, okay, we're just gonna hold it for the next 8 hours.
Exactly.
I'm gonna cut y'all off there because we gotta not really pay our bills, because we're not getting any of this money. It's all going to charity. If you know us at the Roleplay Relay, we never ask sponsors to give us anything for charity. Any cost is out of our pockets. We want them to give all that they can to the charity itself. And today I get to talk about our incredible sponsor who started us off with the first $10,000 of this charitable event, the fine folks over at Thorum. They gave me a small call to action. They're like, head over to thorum.com and use promo code Critical Role. If you don't know how to spell that, how did you get here? Critical Role.
R-O-L-E.
No space in the middle. One word, Critical Role, to get 20% off a truly unique ring or watch. And that is true. And then I was like, can I do like an ad for them? And they were like, no, you're not Sam Riegel. Don't be funny. Do the call to action. So I've read the call to action, but that's not enough. They give us $10,000. And so there's one element of our little narrative that I'm taking out of the audience's hands here. I'm taking out of the hands of our guests. The main character of the past of the world we're about to build is going to be the great wizard Thorum. And we are going to be collecting his 4 rings and his one very fancy watch. And once we have all 5 pieces of Thorum's great collection of fine goods, that is how our party is going to win the day. And so
I love that.
Thank you so much, Thorum. In our world, you're an incredible wizard. In the real world, you make really, really, really beautiful rings. They're so cool. You got to go check them out.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. They're freaking
Yeah,
cool.
we were like, we should get some like for us. Like
And I just want to also point out, Thorum is one of my favorite ad reads on Critical Role of all time, where Ashley plays Travis proposing to Laura. If you've never seen it, it is one of the funniest, like, 2 minutes of comedy that isn't last week's ad read on Divergence.
All of yes, it is all extremely true and accurate. This retelling of how Travis proposed, according to the ad bit, it is all extremely canonical to their lives.
So we wanted to give you all a minute. We've already kind of done it, but I want to give you all a minute to go check out the Tiltify. There's a bunch of donations that have not yet been filled in that I think would be really fun for the audience to get to choose. Naming the big bad, giving the big bad their motivation, naming the big bad's kind of generals in each area. There's a few areas of the world that have not been named or given descriptions yet. One little bit of housekeeping I got to do here. Master Quartster, you paid to name the world, and then you didn't fill out the box where you give us what that name was. The same thing happened with Toasty Nix and Patrick Kelly. If the 3 of you could please reach out and let me know what you wanted the 2 characters and the name of the world to be, that would be great. I want to get you what you paid for. While we do that, I have 2 brilliant minds here of world building and also my wife. I have Danny Carr.
Hey, I'm DMing for the first time next week, so working on it.
Yeah, you guys are going to see that at the end of the month.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
The best DM is the DM that DMs for you. I always tell people.
Oh, always.
Your DM is the best DM.
Yeah, that is a charity stream that we still that we owe from the last charity event, where Claris is going to DM in the world of Stardew Valley, which I'm very excited for.
Stop, that's the best.
So catch that on the Roleplay Relay at the end of the month. But for now, I have Lorekeeper Danny Carr and the builder of Vahar, Jasmine Bilar. Wow, that rhymed. Did you intentionally make your world rhyme with your name?
No.
Okay.
But now that you've pointed it out, I think it's definitely very clever.
Yeah. Next time someone asks, just say yes. Just be like, yeah, I did.
I actually have also done a tiny bit of world building for Critical Role in the form of the Sandkegs Hide book that I wrote with Matthew Lillard's wonderful company. And
It's so
Speaking
good.
of, I was about to ask you a question about world building. I've never opened this. I've been waiting for the right moment. And so I popped the wax off.
It's now.
I'm gonna while Jasmine tells us a little bit about her ethos around world building for TTRPGs, as we build this world to play a little game of Daggerheart in, I'm gonna try Sandkegs Hide for the first time.
That's
Enjoy.
amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, what is my ethos around world building? I think that world building should always serve the player and not the DM. I think sometimes DMs get too sort of caught up in the kinds of stories they want to tell. And I think that if you create a fully fleshed out sort of sandbox and then drop people into it, that's not really a sandbox anymore. And so sometimes I don't world build until after the session 0, because sometimes the type of game you want to run, you have to make sure your players are the types of people that want to play that kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So I guess my follow-up question to that is then, one of the things that I love so much about DesiQuest, and really hooked me right away from that opening scene in the little port area, was how incredibly specific it felt, and how much it breathed within a world that it felt like you really, as the dungeon master, had such a handle on. And so when you were building Vahar, to get to that level of specificity, where did you start? Did you start big, or did you start small with like the sessions themselves?
I actually started with like my own memories. I tried to think back to like what memorable places in my life, what I remembered about them. And I tried to fill out those details in locations in the world first. Whether that was how busy a place was, whether that's how dizzying a place was, whether that was the smell or some other sensory experience, because that's what you remember about it. And if that's what you remember about it, hopefully that'll be what your players remember about it, if that makes sense. Like, if you can impart that feeling to them in some way, then you can put them there. And that does all of the work of immersion for you. And so that's kind of, anytime I'm traveling even now or in a place now, I sometimes will take like a mental picture of it, but I always think of like what really stood out. Was it that the sun felt particularly warm that day? Was it that all of the light was colored green underneath the forest canopy? Was it the way the ice crunched under my boots while I was out for a hike? And those are the weird little details I try to fill in first, because a lot of times I think DMs start with like history, and sometimes what happened in the past is important because of how it impacts what's happening with your characters now, but sometimes it just feels like a history lesson when you're playing. And I think there's ways to do it where maybe a statue in the middle of a courtyard catches your eye and it has historical relevance, or maybe it's controversial. Maybe there are people that want to tear that statue down. I think those types of conversations are much more interesting than what happened 200 years ago for your players.
Trying to make the exposition natural rather than shoehorned, essentially. I love that. I especially like your instinct to sort of record your experiences as you're just living in the world and just notice your surroundings and your environment. I think that that's so brilliant. To just take that time and be like, oh, this snow is especially crunchy, or the sun is especially bright, and things like that. I think that that's such a great idea, and that's such a good tool to use for future writing endeavors and world building. That's so smart.
I just want to take a
I
second.
also feel like unless
Babe,
you're...
can I just jump in for 1 second? I'm so sorry, but Jabroni just donated $1,000. So I just want to say, Jabroni, you didn't buy anything or could put that towards any of the polls. You didn't do the session 0 part of this,
Just for the cause.
Thank you. You're the best. What were you saying, babe?
I love that, like, I love that that's like kind of the touchstone to start at for people, because I think unless your character is a historian, most people, even if you have learned it in school, when you grow up, when you get out of class, you're not as in tune with the events that happened 100, 200, 500 years ago. You are more in tune with the things that you can see in front of you right now, the things that like shaped your life. And so I love the idea of like building a world that is just more centered around the actual characters as opposed to the world itself, because it's the characters that are going on the journey within the world.
Well,
I always remember this line from Dragon Age Inquisition, the Iron Bull says, where they ask about life in the Qun versus like life in over here in like Orlais, and he says a baker in Val Royeaux gets up and worries about if the bread will rise, the exact same as a baker in Parvolin. And I just always really loved how that it's the day-to-day that matters most, especially when you're looking at it from the perspective of people.
Yeah, I think that I want to hop in here and just say this is why I got so excited during the beta test of Daggerheart, right? Like the game we're playing is going to be Daggerheart, releasing on May 20th. So we're all going to get our hands on our beautiful, beautiful books. If you want, here on the Roleplay or Darrington Press YouTube page, you can go see the deluxe book in my hands and watch my face as I, and Clarissa's, as we kind of lose our minds at how beautiful that deluxe set is. But Daggerheart is intentional in its asking the DM to let go a little bit of the world building and give some of that over to the players, so that it's not just the characters who come from this world, but it's also the players who have a little bit more invested in the building of it as well, because they were a part of that. Danny, I'm curious, in your role as lorekeeper, and you're so around the world of Exandria, but you're also so around the world building of Daggerheart and the Menagerie. I'm sure that you enjoyed Bunny as much as the internet did when Marisha debuted her.
Bunny forever.
Bunny forever. Can't wait for Menagerie 4. What is the ethos that you bring into your writing, especially having been around world building so much in your day-to-day?
That it is the story that matters most. And it is specifically in, because I come at it also from the perspective of gameplay. And it is the story that you are telling with the people around you. And it's why your session zeros are so important, because you're able to take a look at all the people that you're sharing this table with and say, what story do we want to tell together? And whenever I GM, I actually GM for my niece, who is 9. So it's really important to me to make it less about the rules and the crunch, and which is a completely valid way to play. But for me, I love just telling a story with the people that I love and the people that I'm getting to craft with. And so what I always look for is, how does the story serve the players, and how do the players serve the story itself, and wanting to hopefully make those things align with each other so that everyone feels satisfied and that they can be part of that storytelling process as it comes, and it's not just me dictating to them and essentially reading a book to them. I want them to feel included and part of it, and like we're all controlling this, we're all putting the railroad track down together and controlling the train together. Because while I do think that stories need those rails, it is still important to be able to quickly swerve and quickly pivot to allow for new and more interesting ideas and themes and paths to open up. And so if you stick entirely to the idea that you had in the beginning, it doesn't allow you as much room to swerve and to find something new. So just always being open to what the people around you are saying and the story that they're also wanting to build with you. Just being open to that creative feedback, and not even just feedback, but just being open to that collaboration and looking at it from the beginning as a collaborative process, which is very much a philosophy that we have at CR, and in Exandria, and all of the things that we make, is that this is not us telling you how the story is going to go. This is how we're going to tell the story to each other, and create together. Because Exandria has always been meant to be collaborative, and the Daggerheart itself is a game of collaboration. And so it is very much the entire the joy of it.
Yeah, I am curious, Clarus, do you have anything to add? Like, what is you're heading into your first actual play DMing, but you've DM'd in real life before. In terms of world building for TTRPGs, either as a DM or as a player, like, what do you look for in a world when you're sitting down at the table? What do you hope is already there?
If I'm playing, honestly, I think like a willingness to roll with the punches is kind of one of the most important things. I tend to play with very chaotic people, and the best DMs are always the ones that say yes and, to take it back to the fundamentals of improv. And if it's not yes and, then there's a reason for it, or there's a reveal later, or they take a thing and they can build on it. When I had attempted to DM some campaigns in my personal life, I had never attempted to write a story before. And so I kind of picked almost a very generic story stereotype of a prophecy, just to keep it very simple for myself. And then around the prophecy, I built in specific puzzles that I wanted the players to find and solve. I built a sliding puzzle. I had this maze that I wanted them to go through. So it was more almost like a traditional dungeon crawl without being in a dungeon, where I just put in little markers for myself so that I could allow the actual story to kind of be built by the players. And so this one shot that I'm putting together now is going to be, it's going to be short. So it's going to be a very, very condensed version of that. But again, I have flag posts in my head for things that can happen in the world. And I really want to just let the players who are sitting at my table fill in all the colors in between those lines, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah. I think it's also important to remember, and this is something that I sometimes see in the kind of commentary about actual play a lot, is that, I think that actual play in its necessity to be for an audience is a little bit more railroaded than your home game is going to be in general. Partially just because the people who are, once the camera's on, you are aware of the audience in a way that you just don't have to be at home, right? There's an element of a home game. And so we are going to be crafting slightly railroady little one-shots today, because I only have the players for 3.5 hours each night, and we have to get to the end. I cannot wait to see how it goes.
It looks like we do have the name of the world in chat.
We do. It looks y'all, I think our little conversation's over, because we are going to be building the world of Fai'ru-laf.
Ooh, how do you spell that? Fairu''LAEF. Amazing.
All right. Chorister, thank you for getting to us tonight so that we can build Fai'ru-laf together. We have a name. Does anyone have a immediate impression based on that name?
I mean, very Fae. To be obvious right off the start. Definitely feels like a place where there's lots of magic.
I'm picturing the Fae take that Daggerheart has, where they can be kind of almost insect-like. Like
Okay.
I don't know why, but I feel like this is kind of feeling rainforesty.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. I
I
love
was already like between fairy and fawn for my for the character I'll end up playing, so I like this. I like all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it. Yeah. Jasmine, what are your initial thoughts with this word here?
I feel like there's a tinge of darkness to it.
Mm.
Like I naturally think of like Fae, yes, but specifically like different courts in the Fae, like
Mhm.
potentially like a political, like maybe there's the world of Fai'ru-laf and within it, not everyone gets along. Like I don't know why I
Okay.
immediately go to like something really dark.
And I feel like that's also just very indicative of Fae in general. Classic Fae fantasy is that there are like these usually very clashing personalities and areas. Like you consider, you even just going back to Shakespeare and Titania and Oberon, you remember that the whole inciting incident for that entire story is that those two are mad at each other, and so tempestuous personalities and big feelings, and then in terms of D&D, those two courts that are diametrically opposed, but even then have to work together sometimes.
Yeah, and like an
Mm-hmm.
unassuming like frog dude that's like in the middle that's like
Yeah.
I just want to eat mushrooms, and like
All right, write down
System is
unassuming
life.
frog guy.
There will be an unassuming frog guy. Okay.
Who loves mushrooms?
Yeah.
like, battle
Yeah.
and like I just tell me who to pay my taxes to, and
I just want to help the community.
Why do I have to figure out how to do my taxes? Why hasn't anyone taught me how to do this?
why can't they just send me a bill if they know how much I owe?
Just tell me how much it
Exactly.
is and I'll pay them, and then it will go to the schools.
Well, we fired all the tax people, so there's no one to do that. But
Yeah, he's
Uh,
wanted.
No.
He's wanted for tax evasion, but really it was just a mistake, and he's ready to pay whenever.
all right, so he's a tax evading little frog guy. Do we have okay? Does anyone either next donation or does anyone have a name for the tax evading frog guy? I'm gonna have to come with a
That's true. You
fucking
can
voice for this guy.
You can pay to name NPCs. You
No,
can
you can't.
also
Unfortunately, all
pay
the
to vote
NPCs
in
are
some of the
paid for, but-
polls.
If you just donate
Gotcha.
something and just throw it in the comment, you can name this unassuming tax evading frog guy who is caught between the two courts of the Fae and Fai'ru-laf. Amazing. Well, I love the world already. We're off to a great start. And so we're going to now, I want to pivot to these sessions because we do have to build 4 independent sessions to give our characters something to do in this story before we head to the final fight. We already have one of the worlds of this game donated. This was by Bredley. So Bredley, thank you so much for donating to name the location that was Torgan Vale. Torgan Vale.
Ooh.
I'll tell you a little bit about it from Bredley here once I can navigate through Tiltify here. Torgan Vale is the high mountain tundra region, covered in snow and ice all year long. Towering peaks obscure most of the sunlight from the valleys, which is crucial for the residents of the Vale, as ice farmers are among the biggest exporters.
I love this. This is very good for our Ridgeborn. For anybody who's Ridgeborn.
And so we've kind of established that we're going for a little bit of a rainforest vibe here. I love the idea of starting our story, and maybe this is where we'll go on Wednesday. I love exploring a new world from the outside in. I'm a big fan of starting kind of not in the center. I don't want to start on Coruscant. I want to start on Tatooine, and I want to get to Coruscant in the prequel, 30 years later. So maybe Torgan Vale is where we begin. What are some aspects of an icy mountain region that you think would be impacted by it being so close to fairy forests nearby? You know what I mean? Like, what does that kind of do to a mountain tundra?
Lots of varying colors, I would imagine. Like
Okay.
this, I feel like the reflections would be very prone to illusion because you're seeing things in the ice and snow. You're seeing different shapes in the rock with colors and lights, and I imagine people see things that lots of mirages, I would think.
Okay.
my first thought is like rainforest. Immediately you think of like damp. So maybe the regions are like symbiotic to each other, that the ice melt from the frost region trickles down into the rainforest, and that could potentially make it an area people fight over a lot. Because if one were to construct a reservoir or a dam there, the people in the rainforest would suffer greatly. So my wicked mind immediately thinks of tactical advantage.
This is reminding me of one of the islands on the Shattered Teeth, where they had the jungles below, but then the mountains, right above. I don't remember which island it was off the top of my head.
Was that the one with the turtle lady?
I think so. They went to like 3 different islands in like one episode, so they all kind of mashed together in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the one with. It was either the one with Gianna or the one right after. I think it was the one after. I think it was the one with the Ashio, the Ashio people.
Was that after they laid with the undead pirate, or before? Spoilers. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
So that's spoilers.
Go watch Campaign 3. It's really good. Okay, it's fun.
They see the Shattered Teeth, and it's great.
It's a great location. All right. So I like this idea of a fight over a dam. I like. I think that's a great place to start our little story on Wednesday. Is that we are meeting characters who have an opinion about a dam that is going to benefit the citizens of Torgonvale, but maybe have a negative impact on the rainforests down below, and the political power of the rainforest of these two unseelie, not unseelie, obviously, because we're playing Daggerheart, but these two Fey courts down in the rainforest below are trying to assert that like faraway political power on a situation that feels very local to the people up in Torgonvale, and maybe that stops them from being able to really understand the impact that what they want would have on someone, and also the element of the like more powerful outsider does give that element of like, well, you say it's going to impact you, but you're so powerful, how could it? You know what I mean? And that adds some like real spicy little political intrigue to this. One of the things that one of the polls that you can go donate to is pick our genres, and the top 4 genres will each get an episode on this. Right now, our top 4 genres are noir, urban fantasy, horror, and time travel. I don't know that any of this fits into any of those genres.
Horror, very definitely.
Horror in the snow is fun.
Time travel too, like. Yeah, no, because I have thoughts on that too. It could totally be a case of like, one group like exports ice, right? The other group relies on melted ice or water. There could be a scenario where like somebody goes back in time with the technology to freeze the river, and then there'll be ice and infinite melt forever, like a Mr. Freeze situation. And now the
cold miser
in the rainforest are like, we don't got no water. That guy froze
If there's no rain, if the rainforest itself is frozen, then ice for all.
Yeah, we will live in a time of unprecedented wealth,
I'm in love.
Time traveling aspect.
All right, I'm
traveling ice fae. I love him.
The time traveling ice fae is.
He makes ice puns all the time.
So you're asking me to watch Batman and Robin again, is what you're saying?
And the Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah, Monsieur Freeze.
I'm kind of picturing though, like, and I'm gonna forget his name, and the internet's gonna get mad at me, from Labyrinth.
Jareth?
David Bowie?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Jareth the Goblin King.
Do I have to stuff my crotch while playing this villain? Like, it won't be on camera.
No, but we'll get you the wig.
No one will see it.
Or learn like the crystal ball tricks, but you have to have one or the other. So
yeah.
Yeah, either learn how to do those tricks he does with the ball or stuff.
Which, fun fact, Labyrinth is one of my favorite movies of all time, is that's not David Bowie's hands. It's somebody down below him doing this in front of him, because he didn't know how to do that, but they had like an actual like juggler who could do it. And so definitely not David Bowie's hands playing with the ball. And you can kind of tell if you know and you go back and you watch, his hand kind of his arm kind of goes a little too far than what you think.
So what you're
someone would be
saying
able to do.
is, what you're saying is, I need to learn how to do it while Nerdy is DMing, and I'm just gonna like reach my hands into camera. Okay, yeah, got it.
Yes, I love
so
this.
funny.
You
I don't know
have
where
2
you'll go
days.
down here, but we have some good news, everyone. Elise Resendez.
Not that hard. Oh,
Elise Resendez has donated $500 to name our big bad, and so
Elise.
the final fight on March 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, will be against Seraphis Kerr. Which is a great name. I really expected, when we did Roleplay Relay 1 and we did a Kickstarter for it, our 173-hour straight Dungeon and Dragon game, we got only joke names. And so I'm so grateful to have a serious name that I'm not going to giggle every time I say that this person kills one of my players, which they probably will. We also have Cassius335 donating to name our tax-evading, unassuming frog guy, Godfrey.
oh, Godfrey.
So
I love him.
hopefully we can deal with Godfrey's tax problem along with everything else that is going on.
He just needs some help.
It's so confusing. There's so many pieces of paper.
There's so many numbers.
I get it.
You just get lots of mail. If you're not used to getting a lot of mail, you don't know how much of it is junk and how much of it is actually important.
I love this idea that I immediately I'm like stuck on this idea that Godfrey is going to be in each episode because he's traveling to like his past addresses trying to collect tax mail that he's missing. And so he just ends up being part of each of these 4 stories.
I love this for Godfrey.
Yeah, it's great. Great. Seraphis Kerr. I'm so excited to meet this character. I think we're going to build them last. We don't have any, no one has purchased a name of a villain yet, but I feel like I'm really loving this Mr. Freeze goes back in time to freeze the rainforest storyline. It gets into things I like complaining about climate change and how little the government is willing to deal with that problem. And so on a personal level, we'll try and solve it ourselves. And so, yeah, this Mr. Freeze character, we haven't built Seraphis Kerr, so I guess the question now, is it just a financial goal? Is it just, why go back in time and freeze the rainforest? Mr. Freeze has that great motivation of Nora.
I have a very toxic answer.
No, I love toxic.
Do
Let's
it.
go. Am I gonna need to send out new safety tools to my players because of this?
A girl he liked that said no to him really liked the rainforest.
Oh,
That checks out.
that feels
That
right.
checks
that
out.
feels correct.
A lot of podcasts, and he's like, you know what? Actually, I hate women, and also I hate the rainforest now.
And you know what? I'm going to build a website so that I can rate what all of these other women look like.
Babe, I'm gonna need a short, curly wig, for no particular reason. I want to look like Jesse Eisenberg in 2017 for no particular reason.
He wants to go back in time specifically so that he can find her at the moment that she rejected him, and he can freeze her in that moment and keep her as an ice sculpture.
Your brain is so wrinkly and brilliant, Danny.
Oh, thank you.
You're so brainful.
Amazing.
Because it was right before then when she was still perfect. And if he can just hold her in that one time, then everything will still be perfect. And ice and the beautiful and perfect and the perfection of ice is the only way that he can encapsulate her forever.
Okay, so we're doing
And it's how he feels
Mr.
about
Freeze.
her cold heart.
Exactly.
Do we want me to have to do an Arnold impression? Wednesday session is Wednesday session.
No,
is
make someone donate for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, donate for your voice. I think it should be Arnold, Kermit.
I just want to freeze you into ice forever. It would be so great.
Kermit an incel. Kermit deserves better.
Why did you never text me back? I just wanted you to pay for my cryptocurrency addiction. I just wanted to take a chainsaw to the government's financial institutions, cause a recession. Sorry, I know that the Oscars on Sunday were attempting not to be political. I hope it's okay that I have been so far. I am filled with rage. Let's okay, so we have an incel Mr. Freeze, reverse Mr. Freeze. He's trying to, instead of trying to get his woman out of ice, he's trying to put not his woman, but a woman that he wishes was his into ice. I do love this. This is fantastic. If you want to go donate a name for this character, please do. I believe this character needs a name. This is great. Okay, so episode 1 is going to be I think I'll do Arnold just because it's all boys on Wednesday. We're starting with an all boy cast and we're ending with all ladies.
All mask.
Yeah, it's all mask, all femme, and then in the middle a nice healthy mix. I think the guys will get a kick out of Arnold and getting to beat up on him the way that I loved watching Arnold get beat up on in Batman and Robin. That's so fun. So in the world of Torgen Vale, there's a political struggle between two factions as they are fighting over the building of a dam that is going to have serious detrimental effects for the rainforest down below, but bring financial goodness to the local citizenry. In the curtain of this, a reverse Mr. Freeze is going to go back in time, and he's going to freeze the rainforest for incel reasons, but that is going to drive a wedge deeper into the political battle in the present, and our characters are going to have to solve that. I think we have a session of D&D here. Or of Daggerheart, sorry. I think we have a session of Daggerheart here on Darrington Press. Corporate mommy's gonna be mad at me. Cool. I love it. That's so great. I think we can move on. All right, so then that's gonna be March 5th. Welcome to the world of Torgen Vale. I feel like that's gonna be in the north. You know what I mean? Every time I think cold, I think north because I'm Canadian and it is baked into me deeper than maple syrup is. I think that for session 2, which is going to be on March 10th, I want to move a little bit further south. I think that we're going to start with some cold. I want to go to the southern edge of this rainforest. I want to kind of work our way in. And so I think desert is a little too obvious an antithesis to a mountain. What's a antithesis to a mountain that would be a little less obvious?
Fields, plains.
Okay. Ooh, we can go to the food. What is the food of these two courts?
Rice.
Okay, we're building a culture around rice. I love that. So maybe more of a wetland vibe.
Especially if water is such an important aspect, I would imagine that rice fields would be again, you're getting that trickle down of the water. Then you're getting the gathering it into these pools for the rice shoots and everything. That makes sense to me.
As someone who's never grown rice, would that be kind of swamplands?
Yeah, I think Inky Petrol in the chat is saying swamp. I like this swamp. This we're growing rice in the swamp, sort of like an underwater crop idea. That's really fun.
Even if it's not how you grow actual rice, it's magic.
I mean, I like magic rice. Yeah, it's like a marsh sort of situation, I think.
Yeah.
I grew up in the South, so.
My family grows rice in Punjab, and you have to grow it in standing water.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an element of truth to that. There's quite a bit of water that has to stand, and then a lot of times the way they do it old school in India is hiking up your pants and going in and planting by hand.
Mm-hmm.
That was 100% where my head was. Just like that, the high pants and everything, and going through the water and all of that.
And I'll definitely say swamp is not too far off the mark in the sense that I wanted to do it when I was a little kid until my dad told me that it's very common to get leeches while you're walking through the standing water.
Okay.
Ooh, maybe there's a
big lair actions.
Big evil leech.
I'm thinking.
Do that, please. Traumatize the players with that.
Great, I love it. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not on that session.
Yeah, that's really scary. I don't like that.
I like the idea that if you roll with fear while you're in the water, something starts sucking your blood. That is a really.
Oh.
So I'm thinking maybe that that whatever race is predominant in this world is a longer-legged race, something that can navigate the shallower, swampy waters.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Trying to think of all the different fawn.
Okay.
Yeah, or or a stilt-based society like Mad Max, where like you got people on
Yes,
stilts,
stilt huts. Yes.
and they walk around, and maybe they even wear like shrouds to scare the things that try
It's
to
like
eat the
this-
seeds.
It's like the stilt
Yep.
walkers in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
guys are those ladies
People.
are so cool.
And they fight on the stilts too.
I love this. Oh, it's also when Robin Hood pretended to be a pelican in the Robin Hood movie. You know, Mad Max and Robin.
You know, when Robin Hood pretended to be a pelican. I totally, yeah.
Look, in Disney, Robin Hood was extremely important to many people growing up.
Yeah, they're called furries. It was really important to the furry community.
The tiger or
Yes.
no, the lion.
I think it's a tiger, a Bengal tiger, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure Prince John is also a lion.
Yes, Prince John was a lion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That
And I think
movie
that the
is-
tiger was Richard. I think the tiger was
Yes.
Richard, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because he was Richard the Lionheart. So he was so Richard was a lion.
Yeah.
But he was like a knight, but he was like a cool lion and not like the little like scrawny lion that Prince John was.
He was a cool
Thing.
guy.
Right.
He was a cool lion.
I need to rewatch.
You
this
know,
movie.
you've got your cool lions and your not cool lions.
That
Yeah,
movie
I
is
really
Oh my
enjoyed
God.
that movie is
movie.
so queer. It
Yes.
is truly like, and maybe it's just because I'm bi, but like that movie was a like, oh boys, interesting, that's fun, cool. That fox. Oh, that fox.
You're right. It was a stork. I'm so sorry. Chat just corrected me. He was a stork, not a pelican. I apologize. That's
Right.
my bad. That's on me.
We
ruined
don't know
everything.
birds.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What would Brennan say, Danny?
I know. I feel
He
so
would
bad.
say roseate
I-
spoonbill.
If I was gonna let Brennan down on anything, it's definitely gonna be birds. I'm so sorry.
If you saw, we posted a short today that we took on the Critical Role set while we were there, and it was right after they'd filmed Divergence, and so Kirby, our producer, was walking us through, and there were just 3 large bags of almonds next to the seat,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh wow, it's not just for the internet.
They're huge.
Yeah, huge bags of almonds. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they're important.
Yeah. I have my road so close to me. I have to go with like fruit, like things that are too crunchy. It gets too like. So I love a grape or like a raspberry. That's my.
That's smart.
Mhm,
That's
yeah.
smart. My perfect, beautiful wife got groceries right before we started and just quietly walked over and handed me a giant bag of Chips Ahoy, which are my favorite cookies. And I just have these Chips Ahoy, but I also don't want to crunch. So I'm just like every once in a while, just like very subtly like nibbling on like the edge of a Chips Ahoy.
This is why cookies and milk is a thing. Because if you dip them in
Yeah.
milk, now granted, I'm way too lactose intolerant for that, but that milk softens it up. This is not world building. Oh my God, I could talk with you guys about anything, but we have to build a world. We are in the rice swamp. There are leeches that will eat you. The bad guys all fight on stilts, and so that's one of those things where like the players have the opportunity to bring the enemies down to their level, but the locals kind of have a advantage over them at first.
Is there like a
because of
sport
culture.
that we could play on stilts?
Oh,
I don't know, sports, y'all.
I like that,
Like polo.
like gator polo.
Yeah.
Instead of horse polo, they like ride gators through the swamp.
I don't know if it would work with the stilts, but yeah, I was immediately thinking like maybe like instead of having like maybe one person serves as like a moving goal and they're like the goals and everyone else
Oh my
chases
God.
them.
You have like,
Like
layered-
capture
you have,
the
like,
flags.
levels.
I'm sorry, this is very stupid.
No,
it's
I
not.
love
It's great.
this.
Okay,
You have like different levels of like where and like because it keeps moving around, but it goes up and down and in water and up on stilts.
so here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so in polo, the rich people on their horses, and then all of their servants run around them on their feet and get whacked with sticks. It's a dangerous game that is literally like the definition of classism. But in our version, the people on the Gators are moving quickly, right? So they're the scorers. They're like, and then their support team is on stilts. So they move slower, but the better they can get into position to help facilitate the quick Gator scorer is kind of the game. And the other, Gator Polo is gonna happen. I'm gonna build a whole sport and we're gonna play it in Daggerheart. I don't know how it's gonna work yet.
So should they be a Gator Polo team?
Who is playing on that day? I think it's Alex Ward.
He'll play Gator Polo.
Oh, of course he will.
This Ward would play Gator Polo. He's so long.
He's probably like
he
the
doesn't
star
need
of the
stilts.
team.
He's like 8 feet tall.
He is the stilts. They're built in.
I'm so excited for Gator Polo. This is gonna be great.
They're like the nationally recognized Gator Polo champions, or maybe it's the final.
Okay, yeah.
They were disgraced in some way, and now it's their chance to.
Oh my gosh, yes. They were betrayed by a member of their own team. And so now they've had to bring in someone and so now they have to like rebuild over the past year, and this is now the Gator Polo finals. But one of the other people on the team is the person who betrayed them last year.
Okay, wait. So is film noir still like one of the top 4 genres?
Yes, noir. It's the top 4 right now. Time travel has actually fallen out of the top 4, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But noir, isekai, horror, and heist are currently our top 4. Ooh, what if this is the heist? What if they have to in the backdrop of so last year they lost the finals, and they have returned to the finals, but they were betrayed. The reason they lost last year was they were betrayed by the Gator that they rode. I like the idea that the Gator was a druid the whole time that was pretending to be a Gator to screw them over in the finals.
I'm obsessed with this.
Great. I love this.
And I love a druid long con.
And maybe like what they get is championship rings, and one of the rings is one of Thorum's rings.
Okay, yes.
There you go.
So bringing it back around. I love, like a ring. Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, so they're playing in the finals for the Thorum ring. What genre? What genre of story are we telling while we do this?
No, this makes sense. This makes sense. We start with them winning. They've won. But the Thorum ring that they were supposed to win has been stolen, so they have to go steal it back.
So the Gator Polo will be the first 40 minutes, and then players don't watch this, by the way. This is none of you are on this episode, right? Danny, you're on the 12th, and Clarice, you're on the 12th. You're both on the 12th.
I think we're both on the same one.
So we're gonna
not Gator Polo players.
We're gonna start with Gator Polo.
Unless this continues.
And then we're gonna heist the rings. That get great. That's gonna be
the best fun. Heists are when you're stealing something back.
Yeah.
Because then you have skin in the game. It's not just want passion.
Exactly. I want to say a really big thank you because we have hit $16,000 raised.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Yep.
All right.
Yup. And we are at the halfway mark as well. So I do want to just throw a little shout out over to Roll and Play for sponsoring this session. And make sure you head over to www.rollandplaypress. What?
They're not sponsoring this session, but that's great. That call to action is on
not this
Wednesday.
Session. Sorry.
No, we love Roll and Play Press. Oh. We're going to be talking about them a lot on Wednesday.
Okay, no worries. Sam sent me that, and I was like, all right, we can throw that in there, but that's cool.
Wait, we're getting competing information from people?
It's live.
This is live.
Live
chat.
Nothing we can do.
Live.
Okay.
Everything is amazing.
Just so you know, you can jump into the Tiltify and name that swamp, or name what is the name of Gator Polo? Because I like the name Gator Polo, but I think we can do better. So if anyone has a really good name for the sport that I will have ready by Monday, let's dive into it. But so we have a heist, we have a time travel adventure. We have 2 more stories to tell. One of them has to be a noir, and one of them has to be, what is the other? We have to get a noir, isekai, and a horror in the next 2 stories.
I mean, because time travel fell out, I kind of feel like that incel one is also a horror. I'm just saying.
Okay, so I'll mix the horror into the time travel, and we'll do a horrifying ice incel adventure against reverse Mr. Freeze. That's a truly insane statement.
Love it.
So then next we have to build.
Sometimes the genres tell themselves.
Mm-hmm.
As we're gonna now build, as I want to move in closer towards these courts in the middle of this rainforest. Lay on me the ideas that you guys have for a noir story and an isekai story.
Are we in the rainforest now?
We're in the rainforest somewhere, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 genres that I'm not as familiar with.
Okay, I have one for the isekai.
Okay, I love that.
Inspired by an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. What if
Oh, God.
a bunch of environmental activists to protest the cutting down of an old growth tree in their national park chain themselves to the tree, and when they fall asleep that night, they wake up chained to the same tree in our world
Amazing, love it.
of Fairu. Did I get it right?
Fai'ru-laf. Fai'ru-laf. Yeah.
Fai'ru-laf. So yeah.
That's it.
But it's like the tree was a portal to another world.
I love that.
Love it.
That's great. So this is
the isekai, right? It's like where you're like
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's portal. It's portal magic, I think.
Yeah, the season 1 of Dungeons and Daddies. It's that vibe of you take regular people from our world and you put them into a world, usually so that they can date a lot of hot women. That is most of the isekais I've seen. It is mostly so that you can build a harem, but we won't do that because we are going to have I'm going to challenge my players to come up with like the worst environmental activists, though. You know how there's like the ones that you're like, hell yeah. That little girl, oh my God, no, she's not even a little girl anymore. She's like
Greta
Grunberg?
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Thunberg.
Yeah.
Incredible woman. Love her work. She's like not what I want. You know what I mean? I want the people who you desperately are trying to get past on the sidewalk because they're trying to get money out of you, but are really annoying about it. I think I'm going to challenge them to come up with 4 like truly like stereotypically fun kind of like extreme characters for this because I think that'll be great.
Would be the weekend warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the week, all she does is pollute the environment on the weekend.
She's always trying to make up for it on Saturday and Sunday.
This is the person that like is so against animal meat that they circle around to being anti-human, and are like test on criminals, not animals.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
whoa, don't do that.
Right.
Like no, there's a lot. That's not a good philosophy.
I think my mind just goes there because you said It's Always Sunny, and I like the idea of like what are the like It's Always Sunny character versions of an environmental activist.
No.
There's definitely a character that's only doing it to pick up women.
Yes.
Oh.
Iffy.
Oh yeah.
Iffy, you know your role.
I feel like there's got to be somebody whose like heart is like in it, but just cannot get it right.
Mhm.
Like is just like just consistently doing everything wrong because they're trying to do everything right, and by trying to do every single thing right, they're just burning themselves out, and therefore is just like constantly like negating themselves because they're constantly trying to just be consistently correct, but that's not how life works.
Yeah.
So they're just negating themselves constantly.
Claire, sorry, you're gonna say?
They actually like care, but they look at the wrong like sources of information.
Yeah.
And just believe wholeheartedly without double checking any of their information that what they're doing is right.
So we need an enemy. We need like a story. We're isekaiing some regular people into this Fae world.
They are their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
They're their own bad guy.
Wait, I do love that. So this is an episode where everyone they meet is just a decent fairy person who is just trying to take care of the rainforest, and they're coming in here and they are the problem. I you know what? Honestly, that's kind of great. How are we going to bring one of the great wizard Thorum's rings into this?
Maybe there's a ring stuck in. Maybe there's like a ring that's been stuck somewhere. Like it's either like in a tree or it's because it's so like stuck and wedged, it's keeping them from being able to travel back to their reality, and so they have to get this ring out of wherever it has been. Like maybe the portal tree grew around it, so it only works the one way, so they can't go back home. So instead, they have to like go underground into the root system and find this ring that has sort of gummied up the works.
Oh, you know what? That's actually an interesting. That's really interesting. I like that you say gumming up the works. There is that idea that like we're going to take these environmental activists who are terrible, but they are also the like lesson of it is that sometimes you do actually have to like controlled burn, right? Like sometimes you do actually have to have a negative impact in order for long-term impact to be positive. I like that a lot, especially with characters who maybe the lesson they learn is that it is okay not to be perfect in order to be good. Cool. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna create I think I like the idea of a little underground creature for this, because we gotta have something to fight. Cool. I'm writing. It'd be interesting for a second. I have to write my thoughts down. Oh my god, that is a giant fly. That's so big.
Oh, no.
Holy shit, that thing's massive. Sorry.
Yeah. There was one in the house yesterday too. It was massive. I don't know. I killed it. I don't know how. I don't know where they're coming from. It's winter here.
That's awesome, babe. I'm so proud of you.
If they need an enemy, I mean, I feel like if there's always you can always have fun with evil trees, like trees that are corrupted, and like just if there is something that is gummying up the works in this rainforest area, maybe it's maybe it is something like the roots themselves are coming alive and in trying to rid themselves of this poison, they are fighting back against their helpers.
Evil tree is really good. There's a lot of like mechanics that I can build into like root combat.
Like a tree immune system too, like the sap maybe, like sap ooze, that, like a gelatinous ooze that's made out of sap. So it's yummy, but also tries to kill you. You could work your maple syrup culture into there too.
Maple syrup culture.
Because I think you mentioned
we can do that.
You're more Canadian than maple syrup. You said something like that, and
Yeah.
I was like, you could work that in there.
The problem is maple syrup.
Maple syrup is the ultimate condiment.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no, I do love that. Okay, so a maple syrup themed isekai that takes place in a rainforest where we have an evil tree that has been corrupted by one of the wizard Thorum's rings. And so we're going to need to do something to that tree in order to... We have to get past the syrup, get to the tree, stop gumming up the works. You know what? It's pretty solid, y'all. That is a one-shot right there. If anyone would like to name the tree, donations are still open, y'all. We are still raising money for the California Wildfire Relief Funds. And so get over there. Give these villains some names, because only the big bad is named right now, and so they're all open for you. A couple other things that you can do before we get into the final one shot here. You can name both Claris's character and Danny's Car's character. Keep in mind, now those characters are like stereotypically annoying
This is
environmental
definitely
activists.
us. That's really funny.
So go donate to name these environmental activists and help with the work they're saying they're doing that maybe they're not the best at accomplishing.
I feel like maybe one of us will be like somebody who like says they do lots of things, but really they don't actually do any of it. But they're like, again, the heart's in the right place, but they're never actually like doing the thing that they say they're gonna do.
They're a Twitter warrior,
Yeah,
but they fly
like
in a private jet.
they have a compost bin in the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just keep forgetting to use it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I have it, so that's like half the battle.
Exactly. We're like 95% there, right?
Yeah.
I spent the money on it.
Yes.
So-
it's there. It's in the kitchen.
Also, y'all, a couple of other things that you can donate for. These are not going to be tonight only. All of the world building stuff will be tonight only because I do have to build a session for Wednesday. And so we're going to be locking this off. However, some of the things that will stay live, if you want to be one of the first people to play Daggerheart after it releases digitally, you can buy seats at a table. I will be DMing a table of 5 through a Daggerheart adventure that I am creating in a campaign frame I'm working on for only those 5 people. So that is going to be a private home game. Or if you would like to play some Candela Obscura and you've never gotten the chance, or if you have and you just love the game a lot, I'm a big fan. I've DM'd an actual play of it over on the Roleplay Relay if you want to check that out. There are 5 seats available at that table as well. So if you want something to donate to where you get to play and not just help us world build, those seats, some of them have already been snapped up, so thank you to the people who have bought those. But yeah, there is a game of Darrington, or of Daggerheart, and a game of Charity of, oh my god, I can't think, Candela Obscura, that are open right now. So consider that. Those games will be in May, and you don't have to be on camera, but you will need a microphone because we will need to hear you. So check that out. We've built 3 really fun one-shots so far. I'm so happy with how this is going. Before we get into our big bad, though, we do have to get into our final area. I feel like this has to be as close to the court as possible, right? The final fight will probably be at this Fae court. I think we'll have our battle at the schism between these 2 governments. What is the last step before that? What is our final? Where is Godfrey getting his final tax forms before the final fight?
I think maybe this is where the noir theme comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I could imagine what was his name again? In my mind,
Godfrey.
I named him Hirabami. Godfrey. Yeah.
Godfrey.
I can imagine. I'm sorry. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter, so that's literally I've named all of these characters after monsters. I can imagine like Godfrey going to the adventurers and, like in a noir style.
Mm-hmm.
And asking for help. You know how like in the noir movies and books, that's always like some long-legged
Leggy
dame.
dame.
Like, I don't know. I need you to help me. You gotta do it. I'm like, come on. I don't want to see somebody like you getting caught up in this. You know, like I love the idea of Godfrey being like, don't you see? Only you can help me, sirs. The IRS, they're on my case. I've come.
Who's a leggier dame than a frog?
True. That's true.
Legs go all the way up, you know?
All the way up to them hips. Boy, I bet she can leap across a couple of lily pads.
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Okay. Oh my god! And with the ladies on this session,
Poor
it's gonna be
people, they won't even give
unhinged.
me the time of day, you know? Like,
I love it.
Oh yeah, this is our all femme episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect.
Love this. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to be helping. We're the final session. We're going to be helping Godfrey in a noir setting recover tax forms from the federal government of Fai'ru-laf. Is that what we're thinking here?
Maybe it's,
Would it get them from the government, or would it be like, you know, they tried to track down their old address and someone took their mail and they need to track them down?
I think that he's looking for, because if this is the 4th session, it's not the finale. Because the finale would be him delivering his papers, and this is the 4th one. So he's been unable to find his last tax form, so he has to hire the adventurers to help him find the last tax form, because that address was just too long ago. He's got no idea where that form is.
Maybe they've stolen his identity.
This is my favorite thing about D&D. I never would have thought that we would have ended on this whole story is about helping a little unassuming frogman file his taxes, but it's so perfect. And this is why you've got to play Daggerheart, because this is only possible when you work together with a group of people to build a ridiculous world. Okay, great.
Great.
Oh,
Perfect.
man. Okay, so Godfrey is, I'm assuming the villain of this then is the person who lives in, or there's the person who stole his mail, which is really topical. Like, everyone's getting their Amazon packages stolen these days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do we want the villain of this final episode to be?
I think there is a naming of the one of the bad guys in the Tiltify
Is there?
right now.
No way. No way. Yeah, Toshke, you bought it, but you did not tell us what the name was. Toshke, I need you to give us the
No.
name. If you're in the live chat, please drop the name in the live chat. I thought that like Tiltify made this really clear. And I think that next time I've got to make sure that the Tiltify makes it clear that I need you to leave the comment. But if Toshke is around, please give us the name. What do we think about this villain? Why are they porch pirating?
Well, I feel like I feel like the interesting thing would be to have this porch pirate, also be struggling, and that maybe he also needs help in some way. And so, I feel like most thieves are people who are also down on their luck, and maybe he's been stealing because he's desperately trying to find something that will help him continue living another day, or he doesn't want this paperwork, but it was it was part of the things that he also picked up, and so it's all just it's the consistently trying to just survive in this world.
What if it's a catfishing catfish?
Even better.
And they scam people by pretending to be Godfrey, and they steal mail because they're like pretending to be different people.
Oh,
Right.
Wow, I love catfishing catfish person. Okay, yes, absolutely.
And they're a catfish.
Love it.
And maybe it's also like just like maybe that's their nature.
Oh, Ian is in the live
they
chat.
pretend-
Ian, what do you want this villain's name? The catfishing catfish. What is their name? Thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Sorry, what were you saying, Jasmine?
No, that's it. Maybe it's like in their nature to catfish too. Maybe they can't help their nature. It's like, oh yeah, this is
Nature versus nurture.
yeah, and I got
They just really like cosplaying, but they take it too far,
Ooh, cosplaying real
compulsion.
people.
right?
Godfrey's biggest
Yeah.
fan.
One of the final villains of my life would be a cosplayer. Let's be real.
Yeah,
That just makes
100%.
and they needed the tax forms to complete the outfit.
They really needed to get into character. They needed all of the possible information that they could gather.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
we got a name.
Their name is Muck the Parcel Pilferer.
Muck is a great name.
Oh,
Muck is
great.
an
Perfect.
amazing name.
So here's
Yeah,
the thing.
that is perfect.
We have a villain. We're near the court. What is the environment that our players are going to be in, though? I need like a location to describe to our players as they're kind of exploring and trying to track down Muck the Parcel Pilferer.
What if this is like the capital city?
Okay. Get some
Because
of that
we've got
urban
like
fantasy
a
in
couple smaller remote places. So what if this is more of a like hustle bustle city where you would be able to easily find, a group to undertake a job like this?
there. Oh, and
Noirs are usually very city, very city oriented.
one of the parcels he's pilfered has, so the Thorum ring is one of the parcels he's previously pilfered. So we can have like a larger
Hey.
connection. We're
Love
putting
this,
together a little
love
game
this.
here. You know what? This is the video I'm going to send people, and they're going to be like, "How do I DM?" And I'm like, "Well, you just have to have 4 minds and put them together." Great. So we're doing like a city. What is the like defining feature of this city of the Fae in this rainforest? Do you think?
What if it's really like everything is stacked on top of one another? Like it's a really tall city. Does that make sense? Like there's different levels
Mm-hmm.
to it.
And maybe because it's noir and noirs are usually very dark, like literally, because maybe it's in this very thick canopy, so you don't there's
Mhm.
there's not as much sunlight. So it's very tall because they're trying to reach the sunlight through that extremely thick, overgrown canopy overhead.
Yeah, I love the idea that because of the way they've built it, the people on the bottom don't get the sun. And
Hmm.
sort of, I've already brought up Coruscant once, but like sort of the same way that like Coruscant has that problem of like the further down you live, the less likely you are to see sunlight. It's only artificial light, and so and so we meet our players maybe somewhere in the middle, but they kind of have to decide: are they looking up towards the wealth or are they looking down? I think that's a fun. Yeah, I also think that means that we could have our final fight. We could have our final fight on the canopy of trees, like above this city, which I think it could be lean into their powers and give a lot of different mobility ideas, which would be really fun. Great, yeah, that's really cool. It's Inky Petrol in chat is like it's the Undercity from Arcane.
Oh,
I mean, I guess so.
It's always going to come back to Arcane. You know what I mean? Some great storytelling there.
Lives there rent free.
Always and forever. Cool. That's great. I want to talk with you all about our main villain now, whose name is, back a few pages, Seraphis Kerr. Seraphis Kerr, according to the poll, is a tech tyrant. That is the far and away winner of the poll over. It's really the only one that had a shot. We have our tech tyrant Seraphis Kerr, and the global calamity that we are stopping is that the gods have turned against us. So we have these 4 sessions, and we have the rings of the wizard Thorum. But our BBEG is a tech tyrant, and the gods have turned against us. When you hear those two things, what kind of story do you think we're telling here?
I think he's the reason
Right?
that the gods turned against them. It's because he decided that he was one of them, or decided that I'm sorry, I'm in C3 brain. Definitely, I attempted to reach the same heights via that technology. So if people no longer need the gods, they would leave. They would say, okay, well, you don't need us. You have your technology now.
Amazing.
Could the technology have something to do with the Thorum Watch?
Okay, yeah. So
Maybe that's what he's powering.
the Thorum Watch is the final. It's the final one because he needs maybe it's an element of like he is saying that it's all technology, but he is actually misleading people by using the magic of the Thorum Watch.
Ooh, I love that.
Great, very cool.
Okay.
When you hear the name Seraphis Kerr, what kind of person do you picture? Keep in mind that they are a tech tyrant, which is like the villains of our real life. So let's try not to skew too far towards that. But
I mean, the last name Kerr, I always think of like the insult, in terms of
Oh
like,
yeah, you
like
cur.
a cur, yeah, like a
oh,
dog
like a mangy
almost.
dog.
So I wonder if he has like a mangy quality to him or something,
Okay.
like, or like something that would invite this nickname, kind of like do you guys remember this movie called The Great Mouse Detective?
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's like a Sir Ratigan,
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, I
Except
was.
he's embraced the nickname where he's like, yeah, I'm a cur.
Yeah, or maybe I like the embracing but my brain originally had gone to like he wears these robes and like very thick clothing to like kind of disguise the like mangy quality to him. But as he like takes damage, like the pieces of the clothing, everything begins to fall off and like reveals the like shattered, disgusting self below.
He'll always be a rat.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a rat person. I love that. Yeah, it's reminding me of like early campaign 2. Why can't I think of Liam's character's name? Oh my god. Fucking wizard. That dirty wizard.
Oh, Caleb?
Caleb, thank you. God, you'd think after 140 episodes I would know his name. The manginess, but I like that. So we're going with
Was it mangy? Or maybe it's just his hair. Maybe
He
it was
was
maybe for a guy is just. I'm saying Caleb isn't mangy. He
You
was just
can't
dirty.
rub dirt on yourself that often without getting a little bit mangy. You know what I mean? The boy had fleas.
Maybe his maybe the manginess is just in the hair. It's just like he's just got like really stringy hair or
Well,
something.
I think we're gonna go like full. I think like full body fur, and I think that I like your idea that like we're gonna reveal that the mange. I don't think it's immediately visible, right? I think that there is this image of him at first, and the outward image that he's portraying is that he is this very put together kind of. Oh my God! It just landed in the middle of my hand. I need that zapper Travis got himself with. I like
for the fly.
Yeah, it just landed literally in the middle of my palm. I like the idea that I will present him first at like this beautiful image. And then as our characters kind of take the rings and kind of begin to wheedle away at him, we're going to reveal the mange underneath and sort of the patchy fur. And I think there's a lot of ways to kind of show that whatever this deal that he has made to rise up has had this like physical effect on him. And maybe it's just the stress that's making his fur come out in patches, right? That's why I'm bald right now, is the stress of 2025. But yeah, I like that idea a lot. And we're gonna
interesting, yes.
Fight him in the canopy. So Fai'ru-laf is this country. Does anyone have a name? Like, what's the name of this city?
Looks like we got a dono.
We got a dono.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, y'all have been so generous tonight. So grateful. To everyone who's participated in this. This has been such a fun way to build a little world.
Yeah.
Rawls has named a location Dukdelv. It's a mining city over arcane gem-infused caverns. Mines are operated mostly by clanks, but ruled by an oppressive cabal of mages exploiting the labor of their machines. Magic is valued above all else by these leaders. Rawls, I think that is a perfect setting for the noir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main that's going to be the main city of this rainforest is going to be Dukdelv.
Very cool.
Awesome.
And I love this. I love this idea that they throw out there. These arcane gems. I think that is those arcane gems are the focus of the whole story, right? Everyone is the dam to the freezing of the forest in episode 1 is going to be about who controls these gems. Wow, now oh my God, this is getting so fucking topical. It's so weird. And then, like the swamp is about controlling the food supply to these miners. We'll weave kind of, when we get to this mine, I think that below Dukdelv in the noir episode, I think that it'll really become clear how these 4 stories tie together and why the hero that takes the ring from each of the initial 4 stories is there for the finale. I love that. Thank you so much, Rawls. That's an incredible donation. I genuinely appreciate it so much.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that we have a comment from Inky Petrol wanting to make sure that we don't give the villain like that disability or scars or anything like that. And I do think that there is a line to definitely keep an eye on to make sure that like whenever we are embracing a villain that has a rat villain and things like that, we do want to make sure that it is still important to showcase that there are different ways to be cruel of heart, and it's not a disability really.
I in my head, it's not a disability, right? I think that it is the consequences of his actions.
Agreed.
It's not a condition that he has. I agree with that. I think that like having a villain become a villain because they were born with a condition that made them become villainous is always kind of a weird, way to handle things. But in this case, I really do think that the amount of stress and difficulty that he's putting on himself is self-inflicted. It is 100%. The consequences of his decisions. The manginess is the direct consequence of the decisions that he's making. And I genuinely believe that there is something ugly about harming others, and it affects you long term, right? There is an element of there's a way in which you physically become gross the worse you are to other people, and sometimes it's just a vibe. But so yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to make it like his an inherent thing about him. It is something he's done to himself in his pursuit of dehumanizing or depersonalizing other people in his quest to be a god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and thank you, Inky, for reminding us of good things to keep in mind when creating villains.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, it's definitely something to consider when world building. I don't know if this helps or hinders. My inspiration behind this was I was recently trapped on a plane for 10 hours and I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's because it's a comfort movie and it helps me sleep. And in it, she regularly refers to people that are trying to take advantage of her or people that are shitty as rats. And she says, they're all rats, aren't they? And so that's definitely what I was thinking of, was like somebody that's a rat, like could be handsome but not a good person. Same thing with Radigan, very dapper guy, but
Radigan,
cool and a
honestly,
rat. Yeah,
kind of a hottie. Not gonna lie.
Ratatouille.
He's on my Radigan is definitely
Hear me
on
out?
my hear me out cake.
wow, okay.
I just want to have a.
All
I just want to
right.
have a
Look,
beer
he's
with
got
Ratatouille's
style.
brother.
He's got style.
Yeah, for sure.
He stole a little girl, Danny.
Hear me out.
That's a different
look at
video.
Look at his jacket.
No, he's
Danny's Hear Me Out cake coming soon.
That would be really fun. I actually should do that. I've never made an
You should.
actual TikTok, despite having lots of videos on TikTok from CR. I've never actually made one. Maybe that'll be my first one. I'll do it. Hear me
I
out.
want you to only make TikToks about Radigan. But you have to post 3 a
Oh my God.
day.
fan account, Radigan fan cams.
Oh no.
Just like a super cut
Just a super guy with
of the
just
world's
really
greatest
cool.
rat.
I love it. It's honestly what he deserves.
Jesus Christ. I can't say anything. My Hear Me Out cake would be illegal. I don't think it would be allowed on the internet.
You can't say that because that has a weird connotation to it.
Yes!
Everyone would be an adult.
Yes.
Oh, all
Yes.
adults. Oh, no. I want to be really clear. They're all adults. But the cartoon characters that I was attracted to as a child that have lingered are I thought Hades from Hercules was really hot. That I guess it's just all these characters that have a very queer energy, which in the late 90s, early 2000s meant villain. And so that queer energy that I see in myself was kind of going back to the problematic thing we were just talking about. There was that element of it where it's well, we can have gay characters in our Disney movie, but they have to be the bad guy. And so a lot of them are bad people, but they have that energy that I gravitate towards my friends in real life who aren't bad, but just are a little bit fruity.
I'm trying to think of what my most toxic Hear Me Out is.
I don't even think Radigan is my most toxic one.
Yeah, because there's some that are toxic and there's some that are just weird.
Yeah.
There's a mix,
Anyone who answers one of the cars from Cars, I've got a real question. A lot of people are the Doc, the
Porsche.
the Porsche from Cars, yeah.
I've never seen any of the Cars movies. Despite my last name being Carr.
I have one that's, I guess, maybe a little weird. As somebody obsessed with the Jungle Book, Bagheera.
Okay, I was literally about to say that.
I agree.
I've
heard you and I agree.
Absolutely. Oh, looks like we've got some magic items.
Ooh.
Yeah,
In the
one of the purchasable items was that you can donate a magic item.
Can the item be a Hear Me Out cake?
the magic item, the Hear Me Out cake. You need to add that as a homebrew to the game. When I finish this campaign frame, I'll let you add that to the world.
Great.
Oh my god. Okay, so to recap, to get away from this conversation before the Darrington Press people come for me. I know they have agents in a car across the street from my house waiting to burst in and stop this conversation. We are telling the story of Fai'ru-laf, a world in which two courts are having a political struggle. That political struggle has been spurred on by the villainous Seraphis Kerr, a tech tyrant who has turned half of the population against the gods of this world, and they have turned their backs upon this world, causing strifes that I will come up with and make sense within the story we're telling. Our adventure begins in the world of Torgan Vale, the icy capital to the north, where a incel reverse Mr. Freeze is going back in time to freeze the rainforest so that he can turn this one woman into a statue because he wants to own a statue of the woman. Incel logic is what it is, y'all. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm too married for that shit. Upon stopping him and receiving one of those rings, we're going to head south to a swamp where we are growing the rice that is the central part of the custom and food of this culture. This rice is particularly vibrant here and grows so well because of the leeches. Let's be real, the leech poop is really good for the soil. It's got high sodium or something. One of the minerals. And so we were able to get really nutritious rice, magic rice. And our team for the second session is a world champion gator polo team that has recently been betrayed upon winning nationals. And they're going to have to heist the ring back from the druid that was pretending to be the crocodile all along. I feel like by world building in front of you, we are spoiling the story, but I don't think the players are watching, so I think this is still going to be very funny. Episode 3, we are isekaiing the 4 worst environmental activists you've ever met into a fight with a maple syrup tree that has been tainted by one of Thorum's rings. And the maple syrup and the roots will be the obstacles they have to overcome removing this Thorum ring and saving this tree. I'm assuming the tree will be good at the end. This is the one, world builders, I need some help from you. How am I tying this into Seraphis Kerr's technology thing?
Well, he clearly has been, is trying to suppress the magic that comes from the rainforest.
Okay.
Because if you no longer can rely on the rainforest itself and the magic that grows within, then you have to rely on his technology.
Sick. That actually really helped me fit that into my brain perfectly. That's episode 3. Episode 4, Muck the Parcel Pilferer, a catfishing catfish, has been stealing Godfrey. Godfrey's been here the whole time. He is a unassuming small frog boy, has been stealing his tax documents, which Godfrey needs to finish filing his taxes for this year of our Lord 2025. And this is an urban fantasy noir in which we will have to chase Muck. I'm assuming that this is going to take place in Duckdelve. And so we're going to delve into the glittering crystal arcane mines beneath Duckdelve with our friend, our frog, Godfrey, to get Thorum's ring back, as well as the tax documents, so that we can make sure that we don't get audited. Which is great because Claris and I are getting audited right now. Hey, it's fun.
Yeah.
These caves are where we find the arcanic gemstones that are powering the lies of Seraphis Kerr's turning the population through fascism against the gods. And that's our story. Wow. We're going to fight him in the canopy. I think we have 5 episodes of a show.
We did it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Unreal. I genuinely, when I pitched this idea for a session 0, I was like, this could be a disaster. And this was the most fun I've ever had prepping for a session as a GM in my life. So I want to say a huge thank you to the 3 of you for helping me do this. And also to every one of you at home who has donated or been in the live chat coming up with ideas to help build these sessions. We are going to be live again on Wednesday, March 5th at 8 p.m., same time as this stream. It'll be a little bit longer stream, though, as we'll be diving into Torgan Vale to figure out how to stop this incelly Mr. Freeze character that is going to sound a lot like this. We're going, yes. this woman, she left me, and I'm gonna work on my Arnold. I'm gonna watch a lot of Predator in the next 2 days.
Kermit was better.
Well, yeah.
Predator is a great movie. Rewatched Predator actually fairly recently, and solid.
My saddest Predator fact, it's my favorite Predator fact as well, is that Shane Black got so jacked for that movie, but then got so bitten by bugs the night that he was supposed to shoot his shirt off scene that they wouldn't let him take his shirt off because he was like, and so the whole
Covered in bug bites.
yeah, so everyone else looks jacked and like oiled up and hot with their shirts off in that movie, and Shane Black worked out every day for like months to get ready for it and didn't get to have his like big shirt off moment because he was just pocked red.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, so that's our next live. Let's go around. Everyone, tell the audience. What was that?
I was saying, is somebody allergic to mosquito bites? My heart goes out to him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same. Awful.
Wait, are you both allergic to mosquitoes?
Yes.
I am
it's so
too.
Bad.
That's crazy. 3 out of 4? That's
I know
wild.
to be a good world builder, you have to be allergic to mosquitoes.
Yes, you just really need to. Just mosquitoes are your enemy. It's why we're all indoor kids. Legitimately, it's why we're all indoor kids.
That's why we're good at making worlds. We create fake worlds.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Insects can't kill us.
Yes.
Exactly.
The outside is too
Yes.
dangerous.
Where you don't have to go outside.
Do you want to go around? Let's introduce ourselves for the audience, and then we'll get out of here. I think that we've done what we needed to do. So, Jasmine, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Hi, hello. I'm Jasmine. I'm that bronze girl online. I'm that bronze girl everywhere. Watch Reslayer's Take, or no, don't watch it. Listen to it.
Listen to it.
It's a podcast.
Or watch it. You know, just like have the audio in while you just stare at the little image on your phone.
Yeah.
It's usually art of by Elaine Tipping, who it does a cute little art for the show.
Cutest art.
So sweet.
If you like curry colored and flavored tieflings, you gotta watch Elaine's art on the podcast.
And definitely go check out Desi Quest. The winter special just went up on Effin' Funny. It's I know that you're a guest on this episode, and so it might seem like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, but it is my favorite actual play of the last few years. I have just been obsessed with the production, the tea kettles. There's so much about it that I found very inspirational, and
Thank you.
yeah, I love what you're doing over there, and I'm so excited that you agreed to do this. It's been so fun to get to chat with you.
Thank you.
I think you said on your stream earlier you're going to go back live again tonight, right?
Yes, I'm playing more Monster Hunter. I'm
So-
trying to hit high rank today.
Ooh, okay. If you want to spend more time with Jasmine, go check out that Bronze Girl over on Twitch. Tonight, it's going to be good. Monster Hunter Wilds. It's pretty freaking great. It's a great game. Danny, where can people find you? What are you doing? What do you want them to know?
I am Danny Carr. You can find me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at It's Danny Carr. You can find me on Instagram at This Danny Carr. And if you like webcomics, particularly queer webcomics with supernatural and romantic themes, including gothic horror, you can read The Witch Wolf over at thewitchwolf.org.
Hell yeah.
And written by me and drawn by my amazing wife, Bree Williams.
Babe, why don't you draw?
God, I wish. I can trace real good. Yeah.
That is true. That
trace real
raven that
good.
you traced was really well done.
I think it's here somewhere.
Oh, is it? Introduce
Yeah.
yourself to the audience.
Hi, guys. I'm Claris Polaris. You can find me everywhere at Claris Polaris. CLARUS, Polaris like the star. And I am one half of Roleplay Relay with this nerd. Where are you on the screen? You're
I'm
in a different order.
Top
Doesn't
left,
matter.
Yeah.
With the bald guy. We we do TTRPGs, reactions. We have a book club, all the good stuff. Everywhere on the internet, pretty much. So see you there.
Yeah, we post in too many places.
Yeah.
And last and certainly least on this page of incredible talent, my name is Nerdy. I am an actor, dungeon master, and the worst reactor on the internet. If you want
That's true.
to see reactions, Claris and I did react to The Legend of Vox Machina season 1. So go check those out. Season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That show. Very good. Danny, can you tell us now, when is the Mighty Nine show coming, since I have you here? When is it soon?
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh my god.
I speak that.
Yeah. Oh, shit, Jasmine knows. No, I am. It has been a genuine pleasure to get to be on the Darrington Press YouTube channel. Thank you so much to the people at Darrington Press. Just want to spend one last second here. I know you say Thorum a lot. I'm going to say it for the next 5 episodes. Thorum, thank you. $10,000 donation is... it is a level of generosity I can't believe, and it comes from a group of people who make such cool rings. I don't wear jewelry. I'm not a jewelry guy, and going to the Thorum website makes me want to become a jewelry guy. That's how good this shit is. Okay, I don't even wear my wedding ring, but I want to wear a Thorum ring. That says a lot. Mostly about the fact that my wedding ring does not fit me. Oh
no!
I know. I'm on a fitness journey, Danny, and it's going well. Because I have to be naked at Dragon Con this year. It's a cosplay. I have to be Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I have to spend a whole day shirtless. It was a charity thing, and so I'm trying really hard to get jacked.
Thing about me is I love Full Metal Alchemist, so that makes me very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Be Armstrong.
I will. If you go over to thorum.com right now, you can use the coupon code Critical Role to get 20% off your order. And they're not like $5 items, okay? They are really well-made jewelry, so they're a little bit expensive. And so getting a discount, what's better than that? Thorum, thank you so much. I'm going to be singing your praises for weeks to come here, but we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everyone over at the Darrington Press team, our producers, all of the art people who made the frame around me, the people who made the Tiltify, the people who made the beautiful Exandrian music that's playing in my ears right now. I want to thank everybody over there. You have been incredible to us, welcoming us into the studio when we were in LA a few weeks ago, and helping us build this show. We are ending right now at $16,443 raised. And it's only the end of session 0. We have so much more to come. There's going to be so much storytelling and so many good sessions with so many people. We have people from Dimension 20, people from Geek and Sundry, people from Critical Role, people from my life, some of my close personal friends who are incredible Twitch streamers and whatnot. We're all going to come together and we're going to tell a story to raise money because the people of LA... The place I want to end this today is I understand that it might seem like that is over. It is really easy to get caught up in the social media hype of a moment. And I do mean hype even about something as dangerous and devastating as these fires, right? We get, there is a level of online excitement that happens because you get to be involved with something while it matters. But the reality of all of these situations is that they do not stop when Twitter stops caring about them. There is years of recovery and building and camaraderie and community that is going to take place before people get back to where they were, if they're ever able to get there. And so the work is just beginning. Like Ashley said in the opening video, the fires are out, but we're just getting started. And we would like to do the best that we can to help as many people as we can with this. And I am so grateful to all of you for joining us and being a part of that work. We're going to be here through all of March telling really funny stories with Godfrey, Seraphis, and all of the other things that you guys have helped us create. I cannot wait to see you on Wednesday. Any final thoughts, any final words before we head out of here?
Be good to each other. Be excellent to each other.
That.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bill and Ted. And also check out the finale of Divergence on Thursday, because that show has been real cool.
It's been so good. It's so good, you guys. Watch Divergence.
It is much less funny than ours is going to be. It's, be emotionally prepared for what Brendan is doing to his players. But check it out, because it's very fun. Jasmine, Danny, thank you so much. I've been a big fan of you both for a long time, and it has been a pleasure to sit down and talk TTRPGs with you all. Darrington Press, thanks so much. Let's get out of here. Do something nerdy tonight. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.